Hello and a warm welcome again. We are back with a new session. Today we are going to talk about Marxist and Socialist Feminism. To begin with, both this Marxist and Socialist Feminism are subsets of feminist theory, and it highlights the interconnectedness of gender and class subjugation. There are similarities between both the perspectives, but they also possess distinct characteristics that set them apart from one another and from other feminist ideologies. Now, these frameworks are based on Marxist theory and socialist ideology, seeking to comprehend and demolish the institutions that are maintaining the subordinate position of women in capitalist countries. So, what is the basic foundation of Marxist feminism? It is based on the ideas of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, including their examinations of capitalism, the conflict between social classes, and historical materialism. Marxist feminism contends that the primary cause of women's subjugation is their economic exploitation within the capitalist framework. What are the key concepts in Marxist feminism? To begin with, first is class and capitalism. So these Marxist feminists are arguing that capitalist system is exploitative as it is relying on women's labor, both unpaid and paid, to sustain capitalist economies. Next is reproduction of labor power. So where it is coming from? Labor power. Engels' explanation in The Origin of Family, Private Property and the State is very important to understand the role of family in reproducing labor power within domestic labor, women's domestic labor being essential and underappreciated. Next is alienation and commodification. Women frequently experience estrangement from the outcomes of their employment and are being objectified. So both in their capacities as well as employees in their physical forms, which are utilized for financial growth. So there are critical contributions and theorists in this Marxist feminism. First is Clara Zetkin. She is a German Marxist theorist who is emphasizing on the importance of class struggle in the fight of women's liberation. Next is Alexandra Kollontai. She is a Russian revolutionary who is highlighting the role of working class women in revolutionary struggle and advocating for communal living arrangements to alleviate the burdens of domestic labor. So there are the critiques and limitations of this Marxist feminism. It is being critiqued for prioritizing class over other axes of operation such as race and sexuality. Also, critics argue that this focus can be obscure and multifaceted nature of women's experiences and struggles. Now coming on to the socialist feminism, the basic foundations. Socialist feminism combines the aspect of Marxist feminism with more comprehensive analysis of patriarchy and various forms of oppression. Socialist feminism, a feminist contend that the comprehensive understanding and a resolution of gender oppression necessitates the inclusion of race, sexuality, and other intersecting manifestations of injustice. What are the key concepts of socialist feminism? First is intersectionality. As we know, socialist feminist emphasizes on the interconnectedness of various forms of oppression that compounds. They also argue that class, gender, race, and other social categories intersect and co-constitute systems of domination. Next is patriarchy and capitalism. These feminists believe that patriarchy and capitalism are mutually reinforcing systems. Therefore, they contend that the liberation of women requires a simultaneous challenge to both economic and gender-based oppression. Next is social reproduction. The concept of social reproduction is very important to socialist feminism, and it highlights how the labor of caring and maintaining the workforce traditionally performed by women is very important and essential to the functioning of capitalist economies. Now, who are the contributors of the socialist feminism? To begin with, Hedy Hartman, known for her essay Unhappy Marriage of Marxism and Feminism. Here she is critiquing the traditional Marxism for neglecting the autonomous significance of patriarchy. Next is Nancy Fraser, prominent social theorist, and she has integrated feminist theory with critiques of neoliberal capitalism again, and focusing on issues such as redistribution, recognition, and representation. Now, there are certain limitations and critiques to this feminism. Socialist feminism. Socialist feminism has been critiqued for its complexity and the difficulty in uniting diverse movements under a single theoretical framework. Also, some argue that the broad scope of socialist feminism can dilute its effectiveness in addressing specific forms of oppression. To conclude with, Marxist and socialist feminism provide insightful viewpoints on the correlation between capitalism and the subjugation of women. Although both theories are rooted in Marxist ideology, they differ in their focus on the interconnectedness of different types of oppression. And both these perspectives of Marxist and socialist feminism continue to have a significant impact on modern feminist thinking and activism, offering vital understanding of the underlying causes of gender inequality and the strategies to achieve a fairer and more balanced society. To understand in detail, here are some of the list you can go through to understand, to get a better understanding of these concepts. And again, we are going to meet in the next video. Till then, happy learning.